Well, as we continue to try and improve our team, we've had Jarred Tinordi as a player of interest for us for quite some time. In fact, as far back as the draft, we remember meeting with his family prior to the draft and asked him if he would go to Major Junior. We'll draft you and sign you. And at that time, he wasn't sure whether it's college or Major Juniors, so we ended up passing. But long story short, we think he's a young player with upside. He's hopefully he can benefit from a change of scenery and come down here. And I do think with Jim Playfair coaching our defense and his style will fit in exactly where Jim can bring him along and get him back to be a regular NHL player. So we look at this and we look at Kevin Connaughton coming in and giving us really some solid depth and some youth on our blue line as we continue to move this team forward.
Was it his draft year that you said you've liked him since? And
yeah, that was the draft. It was the same year of the Gormley draft, and but he's a big, strong defensive player, good mobility, can play a physical game, and we just it's sidetracked in Montreal the last year and a half where he hasn't played a lot, so he will benefit from a new opportunity with us, and we're happy to have him.
Will he come here, Don?
Yes, he'll report here.
The other guy, he'll go.
Yeah, who's the other guy? Yeah, the other guy. Yeah, he'll go. He'll go to Springfield. Fournier. Yeah, he was just. We had to make the contracts work. He's a big, kind of a rugged winger, but he'll go to Springfield. Wish Stefan and John a bon voyage and good luck.
Was this something that had been in the works, Don, or did it just come up, in the last few days, or how would you describe?
Well, it's been probably within the last week or so. I've been talking with Montreal. They it turned out to be a three-way deal with Nashville. Nashville had a player they wanted. Nashville were interested in Elliott, and we were interested in Tinordi. And so when we picked up Kevin Connaughton, they thought that the deal wasn't going to happen because of the contract and the contract, the roster spots, and the economics. So when they agreed to take John as part of the deal, John did a good job for us. He was brought in to give us a little more stability early on, to basically make sure nobody took advantage of some of our younger players coming in. As we're at the halfway mark, we feel that we have a good team toughness here, and we can get away with not having that element in the in reserves in case it's needed. And so when they agreed to take his contract, then the deal was made.
Don, I'm Adrian Dater from Bleacher Report. By all accounts, John Scott was a credit to this organization and a great guy. Is it fair to ask, though, now that he's done the All-Star thing, was a bit of a distraction to this team?
No, not a distraction at all. I think it was sort of a, I don't want to say lighthearted event, but I think when originally John started getting some votes, everybody was happy for him. And as it went along and he kept getting more votes, then, it just became sort of a running, it wasn't a distraction at all. It was, I think we're all happy that John ended up being elected. At the time, the way the rules are, if he gets voted in, you get voted in. Now that I'm not sure what happens next because, he's now sent east. What Montreal are going to do with him, I imagine he may be going to their farm club, which may affect his All-Star participation. But that had nothing to do with this deal whatsoever. We're in the business of looking after the Coyotes, and we think with Jarred coming in and Kevin Connaughton, we've got two young defensemen that have upside and can help us not only now but down the road as well.
Don, I think the rules stipulate each team has to be represented by at least one player in the game. So does that mean you would expect someone else to be in invited to the All-Star game?
Literally, Colin Campbell called me as I was walking in this room here today, so I'll have a discussion with the league. I'm sure we'll have representation. That's that's the way they're going to work. So, but until I talk to Colin to see, what the plan is, I don't know. I really don't know what their plan is. But really, it's inconsequential to us, this deal, and the All-Star game. Quite frankly, we're trying to make our team better, and I do think we made ourselves better today.
That's two moves just this week to try to beef up or finesse your back end. Why has that been a priority? Obviously, we've seen the goal scoring and the offense has been a steady component of this team. But how do you look at this blue line? Why is that an area you're trying to beef this week?
Well, it's just timing. It's not necessarily this week. It's just the way the league is and the way these deals evolved. It just happened that Kevin popped up on waivers a couple of days ago, and we liked the player and thought he could add some depth to our organization, and then be able to bring in a young developing player like Jarred Tinordi. It just the timing just worked. I mean, we've been looking at different things from the start of the season, and right now we look at our blue line and say, okay, we have good depth there now. We don't have to worry about all of a sudden we have one or two injuries. How do we keep our heads above water? So we will continue to do what we can do to make ourselves better, and these are all just small steps. Hopefully they'll work. Most of them, you pray that most of them work. Some of them don't. But I think in Jarred Tinordi's case, he's a big guy that moves well, that we hope we can get his game back on track. This is not a finished product by any means. He's a big developing player, and it's up to us to bring him along.
Has he been injured this year? He only played 6 games in the minors.
Right. No, he's been healthy. He's been healthy. They were carrying 8 defensemen too, and he was the odd man out. So it's been a difficult year for him, but we'll try and make it work here.
So this has been basically a priority since maybe the off season's done, just trying to give yourself more options on defense.
Well, yeah, a little bit. And even Jarred's style of play is attractive to us. I know the league is going to mobile and puck moving, but you still need somebody in front of the net to protect your goalie, and somebody with a little jam to his game, and that's what he has. He's a big, strong young kid that plays hard and but can play.